Just a quick update video on a few of my rigs I got here. If you watch my videos, you've seen this mini T sitting back here, and it runs right now, but I'm having problems ever since I installed these rear universal shafts. What, Pete? We'll go outside in a minute, bud. Ever since I installed these rear universal shafts, I've been having little issues with the drive cups here. So what I was thinking about doing is just putting a spool or getting that ball dip they have for this, and that should eliminate the problems I'm having. But anyway, this thing is really fast. This had the 35 amp, I think, originally, and I upgraded it to the 60 amp T-Sky, which is similar to a Hobby Wing, and I think it takes a Hobby Wing programmer as well. But the power difference was crazy. This is 7,200 kV, this little motor here. And the increase in power from the 35 amp to the 60 amp was like putting a 3S battery. So this will be back soon. I had this little homemade wheelie bar that I put on here back in the day, and it works really good. And here, the Helion Avenge. RC New Hampshire had some problems with his. It was a quality control issue. He didn't have any rear bearings. And so without any rear bearings, it pretty much ate up that upright here. And then also will have a lot of play, and would you're liable to bend your axle or something like that, or break something. I'm good to go. Fans. This thing will get hot if you run it real hard on 3S off-road. It'll get hot. So simple fan, simple heat sink fan. This one, I had a bunch of these from eBay for like $3 or $4 each, and they work fine. And if you have a problem with the fan, you could always just put a new one on. I have a couple extra fans just sitting around, and then just wires in right into here to the little receiver box, and where the lights come out and stuff like that. And that eliminates any kind of problem you have with it getting warm on you. It hasn't got too hot where it like goes in the thermal cutoff, but it does run warm on 3S off-road. So simple 3650 size heatsink, or a 540 or a 550 size, depending on how it's labeled, is all you need. And it doesn't have to be anything really special. A really good heat sink, a really big heat sink without a fan would probably work too, because it doesn't get like extremely hot where you like have to have a fan. So update on this. This is still brushed, but what I have done is I've added foam to these tires, and I didn't realize they were directional when I did it, and I can't fix the problem because I have different foams in these. So they have light foams in the front and heavy in the back, which I think might be wrong, because upon inspecting this one, I noticed that they have the soft foam and then they have the hard foam in the front. So I went the opposite on here. I put the stiffer foams in the back and the softer foams in the front, if you could see that. So, and then the stiffer ones in the back. I unglued these. I boiled them and then glued them, and they're pretty good. They feel actually pretty decent. They feel actually really decent. The rubber feels actually real decent. Now that there's foams in them, they should actually work pretty good. I shouldn't have any problem with them. I could get some runs out of them, wear them out, and buy some new ones. But yeah, I think I might put the softer foam in the back, and then the stiffer foams in the front, because that's what Team Associated does. They have the stiff stuff in the front, and then they have the softer foams in the back, if you can see that. See, that's softer, and that's pretty stiff. Like the sidewall is real stiff on this one, and then real soft on that one, or softer anyway. So I'm gonna get a run in with this one soon, and I want to look into getting some Nerf bars for this. I didn't see them on the parts list, so I'll have to try to figure that out. But there's the area for Nerf bars to be attached here. So They're out there somewhere. Or maybe I could find something that would fit. Gotta have my Nerf bars, man. I want to be able to grab my short course trucks like that. But anyway, this is a really good truck, even though the price was only $99. It's got pretty nice bumpers. This is hinged back here. I took some big hits in the back of this and nothing broke. Actually took some concrete out. Oh yeah, and after adding the foams, I mean, this has got good suspension. The suspension's good. Suspension's well adjusted out of the factory, and now with the foam, it's always going to dip down a little bit more in the back because it is a two-wheel drive and all the weight's back there. Let's do a comparison here. This one just a little bit more. This one's just a little bit better. It's comparable. Yeah, this is impressive. $99. It's very impressive. And for $150, you could have had a brushless, and they would have the same system, just with their brand. Iconic, not the Reedy brand, but the same thing. So, just to update, guys, I want to show you about the foams, and I'm probably going to swap them, probably put the stiff ones in the front. But I want to run it first and see how it is like this, and then I'll swap. But Team Associated does it that way, and they know what they're doing with that real hard sidewall in the front, so we'll do that. And yeah, easy fan upgrade for this. Hobbytown or A-Main, whoever you bought it from, they'll hook you up, bro. RC New Hampshire, he had some problems with he didn't have any bearings in the back, and it ate up his rear hub, his upright in the back, and he ended up bending an axle. So they'll hook you up, bro. And if you're on that loose stuff, bud, and you're having a little problem with if it's kicking out in the back a lot, you're running real loose stuff a lot, go ahead and put some thicker fluid in the center diff. Don't go too thick, but you'll put a little bit more power to the front, and then you can pull yourself out of things instead of pushing yourself out of things a little bit more. All right, guys, that was just a little update on a few of my rigs. We're gonna get all three of these out here soon, and when I get the setup for this one, and we'll stop throwing these CVDs, we'll be out running this thing again. This thing is crazy fast for a little tiny RC, really fast. All right, guys, just a quick update. I'll be out tomorrow for Tamiya Tuesday with one of my rigs I haven't drove in a while. All right, peace.